Hey, welcome to the DBC Inc. Facebook Live. It's a Monday night. I'm used to saying Thursday night. It is a Monday night because it is a special Facebook Live, and it's one of our favorite kind of Facebook Lives, and that is a book birthday. And I am here to congratulate the two authors of our latest book, and that is Heather Lyon and Alice Keeler. Hey, how are you two doing?
Yay, thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I will, before we formally do the introductions first, if you are watching us, please jump into the comments. Let us know who is here, where you are watching from. We would love to see who is here watching with us, interact. By the way, if you do have a question as things are going along here about the book, I've got the two authors right here with me. Now is the perfect time for you to ask, and we can get it answered for you. And so throw your questions in over there too, but be sure to let us know who is joining us. Oh, I see Tara Martin is here. There we go. From the DBC account, we have Tara joining us. Thank you very much for popping in here. And Tara is joining us. I have a new nickname for Tara. She is now known as the Baddie from the Natty. The Baddie from the Natty, now that she's in Cincinnati, Ohio. And Emily, hello, Emily. Thank you so much for popping in. Good to see you.
That's my mom and sister who are joining.
Karen, thank you for popping in. All right. Oh, a proud mom. Oh, we love family jumping in. That's fantastic. That's awesome. And wait a second. I was about to say that we have gone international because Nick Roque is here from Winnipeg, Canada, but we had already gone international because Alice Keeler is here all the way from, let us know where you are coming from today, Alice.
Well, I'm visiting Peru. I was EdTech Latam having some events. Their teachers actually start their school year in March.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yep. So it's doing.
So this is like kind of like the back to school professional development kind of period for them now. Okay. That's awesome.
And it's summer. Hence my
summer.
You look real close.
Yes, you have like a little color in the skin. Yeah. You haven't got any sunburns since you've been there or anything like that, right?
Yeah. That's not possible with all this sun. No, I've got tons of them and I'm suffering.
Okay.
But nothing can squash my joy because I have so much engagement around us releasing this new book.
Okay. And then Alice, when you are not in Peru, where can we find you?
Well, me and Tara used to both be in Kansas, but now she left me. So I'm by myself in Kansas with my 5 kids and my 3 dogs.
Hey, well, that's a full house. And so we used to both be in California together, but now we both abandoned the state of California. And Heather, thank you so much for joining us, and let us know maybe what you are up to and where you're coming to us from.
Yeah, I am a district administrator and I consult, and so I do that kind of fun stuff. And then I get to work with amazing people like the both of you, but I am coming from the Buffalo, New York area. So it is not warm and sunny here, although today it's unseasonably warm. We got into the 50s.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
No.
That's I was going to say it's been raining here all day, but actually the sun just popped out. So I'll take it. Laura, thank you so much for joining us. Laura is also from the East Coast joining us. By the way, Heather, I'll have to talk to you later about this, but I'm actually flying into Buffalo in March to do, I'm driving a little bit ways from there, but and so is Tara. Tara's flying in there, and we're doing a joint event together in New York.
Yeah,
so
keep me posted.
Yeah, Laura, thank you for joining us. We have also Dawn Harris, Plan Like a Pirate author. Dawn Harris is here to join us. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And let's talk about this book. And so here it is. Boom. 50 ways to engage students with Google Apps. And if you are a DBC fan, you know that this 50 is sort of a very common trademark style of book from Alice Keeler. And we are so proud to welcome Heather into the DBC family as well. And so they combined on this project. So first of all, I'm interested in what brought the two of you together to write this.
I'm a fan of narwhals.
No.
That's what,
Yeah. And
by the way,
We are both friends with the wonderful Melody McAllister, and that is the truth.
That is the truth.
Narwhals.
Yeah.
Melody introduced both of us, and we hit it off right away. And Alice said we should write a book together, and I was like, I'm in. Count me in.
Absolutely.
So
That's awesome.
like getting up super early to, I would just tell her like, okay, here's all the things that happened at school today. And eventually she's like, we're going to actually write the book, or are you just going to tell me about your day every day? That's what happened, right?
That is true.
That is true.
That's true. So Ryan, I saw a picture. Ryan already has the book. It's arrived to Ryan, and he's already going through it. So thank you so much, Ryan, for supporting the project. We really appreciate that. Yeah. And Dawn say Mel's amazing. I agree. She is, and she's a great connector of people. And so that's fantastic. That's what brought you two together. So I appreciate hearing that story. And there is a narwhal on the cover right there. And I'll tell you a story about this. Okay. Is that when some of those cover ideas came together, Sal and Lindsay, who are part of our production team, they're amazing, but they didn't really know, I don't think at that time, Heather's background. And so they're like, what? Like, we've read this, but like, what's with the narwhal thing on the cover? Like this kind of stuff. So maybe
I don't think we mentioned Heather's other 2 book titles. So.
Yes. So Heather, tell us why there would be a narwhal in this project.
So my first book is called Engagement is Not a Unicorn, It's a Narwhal. And then the second book is called The Big Book of Engagement Strategies, which is just a continuation of the first book. But the concept of the narwhal is that they're so big. I am under promising and over delivering with the big books. The narwhal symbolizes that engagement is real, but not very common. Whereas unicorns are mythological, and sometimes we think of engagement in a mythological type of way, like kids standing up and applauding at the end of a lesson, which doesn't happen.
I think it happened once. Actually, just for my autograph, but only once.
Or we set the bar super low when we think of it as like, every kid is going to do their homework. And that's just compliance, and that's not actually engagement.
Yeah, that's fantastic. By the way, Marsha Louise says, I have my book too. That's awesome. And Melissa Atkins is joining us from Mississippi. Thank you, Melissa, for popping in here too. I like that. And let's see. So I feel like I read one of your. Oh, yeah. So maybe we have a reader of one of your earlier books, Heather, joining us here. Wonderful. And all the way from New Jersey, Jay Billy is in the house saying narwhals rock. Okay. So this one is about student engagement, but it is specific to Google Apps. And so I know this is a sweet spot for sure for Alice. And so this doesn't surprise me at all. I don't think it surprises anyone that there would be a Google on the front of this. And so what is it that people that get this book, what can they expect inside other than 50 ways to engage students with Google Apps?
They're going to get templates and resources. So first, they're just going to get all of this beautiful wisdom from Heather. So we kind of started from there, is going through her books and taking all of the ways that I was or was not engaging my students in the mornings and like, okay, well, what's a strategy we can do with those? And we came up with a really long list of things, and we whittled it down to 50. And Heather did her job. She's like, all right, here is why this is engaging. Let me explain this to you. And then I made Google templates to say, okay, well, you have these free templates or other resources, right? The Google resources. And we want to make this easy for you to get going with these strategies by using tools you already have access to.
Yeah, I think that's one of the key things to mention is that it's not just the tech. It's not just it's not just the tool that's being discussed. There's whole sections and writings around just like what is engagement and what is not engagement, and it's much larger than just a list of tech tools.
Before I comment on that, we would be remiss if we did not say that specifically the artist who created the narwhal on the cover and throughout the book is one of Alice's daughters. who is highly talented that she designed that for us. So
it is really cool.
Yeah, thanks to Reagan. But yeah, engagement is, I love it when Alice says things like, just because you're using technology doesn't make it any more engaging. It's what you do with the technology. And I love that. And really, that's what this book is about. What are you doing with the technology in order to elevate student engagement beyond just a point of non-compliance, like a kid isn't doing it, and really even beyond compliance, although we do have some strategies to get kids from non-compliant to compliant, because non-compliant kids, getting them to compliance, that is a victory. It's just not the finish line.
Yeah, absolutely. Kristen, thank you for joining us. She's wishing you all a happy book birthday. Appreciate you being here, Kristen. That, I think, was one of I love that quote. I put it out there. I told Alice I love the quote in a comment on Facebook too. That idea that, hey, just because you walk in the classroom and kids are quiet, sitting in their seats and doing something, doesn't necessarily mean that they're engaged. It doesn't. They just don't want to get, as Alice said, and I think from the book, Heather, like, maybe they just don't want to get in trouble. They don't really care about this. They don't really care about this thing. They're just like, don't want to get in trouble. So they're going through the motions.
That is one of the biggest pieces, I think, that people need to know about engagement, is that actually in schools, we tend to disregard kids who are non-compliant with the learning as long as they're compliant with the behavioral expectations. And so they can slip through the learning cracks because they are meeting our behavioral expectations. Yeah,
absolutely. So I love this. Dawn, can we replace the pencil paper, or can supercharge learning? That's what we want. We want to be using the tech in ways that supercharge learning, not just as like a replacement for what we were doing before. And then, from New York, another New York, Katie, thank you so much for joining us.
I'll see you on Wednesday for coffee, Katie. Thanks for being here.
Lewiston, that must be close to Buffalo, yeah?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there's Lori, my friend Lori.
Pop Lori up here. Lori, thank you very much for jumping in and joining us. We really appreciate that. Now, inside the book, if you see the layout, it's beautiful. I mean, look at the inside, like multicolor layup, like beautiful. Yeah, it's gorgeous. The cover is gorgeous, but then inside, like every page is just so beautifully laid out, and it's super usable, readable. And you're going to be able to take these ideas and use them right away. You're going to take the stuff that you're already teaching in many cases, but now you're just going to be able to add just even more powerful ways to engage kids with the book.
As anyone who has any of my books, except for the Ditch That Homework book, the style is you can open to any page and find one quick way to try something new today or a different strategy without feeling like you need to read it from cover to cover. So it's definitely designed that way. And we would love to hear your feedback. We only have a limited space. And so since we are talking about technology tips, if you feel like I need more of a tutorial, we do have a website that we created to go with the book that we, as people are like, I need some more, we are making some tutorials and extra supports for. So you're not hung out to dry. And of course, we're on social media. So we'd love to hear how it's going and how we can support people.
Even that beautiful narwhal finds its way inside the book too.
Yes. He's swimming throughout the book.
Swimming throughout the book.
Yeah. And then we spent a lot of time, whoops, wrong page, hard to see, but really categorizing the each of the strategies so that though how it works within your own classroom, it may not be something that leads to interest or absorption or whatever, because but nevertheless, we spent a lot of time thinking about how each strategy is likely to be used in order to achieve a certain level of engagement.
Yeah. I see Karen has said, make sure you talk about Lyon's Letters. If people know you on social media, your at is Lyon's Letters. So maybe tell us what that's all about.
Yeah. So thanks, Mom. My website is lyonsletters.com, and that's also my my social media handle. I started, I'm in administration as a school administrator, and I started writing weekly letters to my staff that ultimately I carried over and created the blog. And on my website, just like Alice's, you'll find lots of resources for this book and the other books and all things engagement.
So, and Alice, your website is at alicekeeler.com.
All my stuff is Alice Keeler.
AliceKeeler.com. Social media, Alice Keeler, at Alice Keeler. And you might find 1 or 2 posts on AliceKeeler.com, or maybe even 1 or 2 posts per day on AliceKeeler.com.
She's prolific. She's so good at it.
She's prolific. So since Alice is here, I'm going to tell you an Alice Keeler story, Heather, and everyone watching. And so when I was living in San Diego, Alice came to visit us at my house one time, and we're looking, and she was there over the weekend. We're like, you know what? Tomorrow morning is Ed Camp San Diego. And like, how cool would it be if we all just like walked in at Ed Camp San Diego? And so on Saturday morning, we got into the car and drove to Ed Camp San Diego. Alice was sitting in the back seat, and we were just chatting. I don't know, it was maybe a 30-minute drive. And I just hear this in the back seat of the car, driving to an event, driving to Ed Camp San Diego, right? I'm like, what are you doing back there, Alice? And she's like, oh, just posting a blog. And like, she wrote a blog in the car on the way to Ed Camp San Diego.
She and I, before we started actually writing the book and we're just, connecting, I would say things. She's like, wait, I just need to tweet that right now. I'm like,
that is what I do.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, my Twitter is full of Heather quotes from our time working on the book. That is for sure. I thought you were going to tell the raccoon story.
Oh my goodness. There's so many Alice Keeler stories. You have to pick and choose.
What are we going to do?
What about when #man picked you up at the airport?
Oh, yes. Yes. When Dave picked you up at the airport, it's an adventure. You're like, okay, there's this crazy person dressed up. I'm going to go this way to avoid them. Oh, wait, no, it's Dave.
That's my ride.
I would expect nothing less from the Teach Like a Pirate author.
I came to pick up Alice at the airport with full multicolored troll hair, a blue and silver sequin cape, blue like wavy pants, and a big black shirt with a hashtag on it, and these star sunglasses. I came as #man.
I feel like you can't really approach our book without talking about Dave and Teach Like a Pirate. I mean, doesn't it really all start around there that Dave's book is really about engaging students also? So I did a presentation at EdTech Latam, and in the worst Spanish that I possibly could use, I started my presentation off with, who's read Teach Like a Pirate? Because you are my people. You care about engaging students.
Thank
100%.
You so much. I appreciate that.
Whenever I think about truly the simplest way to think about what is engaging, I think about your work, Dave, and the concept of design lessons that you could sell tickets to.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. By the way, Elizabeth Boswick is here. Thank you. A raccoon. So I don't know, Elizabeth. You're gonna have to corner us in person for the raccoon story. I think maybe, I don't know. But Elizabeth, since you are here, I'm going to say this because I've been meaning to reach out to you, and that is that we want to see about connecting with you, because we're going to be 25 minutes for you at an event. Elizabeth works in Horseheads, New York.
Oh.
And so we're going to be up there close by in Jasper. And so we want to connect with you.
That's the area where I grew up.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Shout out to 607.
Jasper, Troopsburg, like area right there. We're going to be speaking. So we would love to see you, Liz, while we're in town. I see a new name in here. Let's see. Heidi has popped in. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that.
Heidi is a dear friend of mine who I've had the pleasure to work with in a couple different places, and she's who I want to be when I grow up, even though I'm older than she is. She's amazing.
Yeah. Hey, so we mentioned where you can find Heather, where you can find Alice. So they both are prolific on social media. They both have blogs, websites that you can go to. Both of them do speaking. If you would like them to come in and talk to you about these things, about student engagement, about Google Apps, about any number of different things, both of them could be booked for speaking events as well around this message. The book, again, is 50 Ways to Engage Students with Google Apps. It's amazing. It is so practical and usable. I can't imagine anybody going through this book and not finding something that they're going to be able to use the next week in their classroom. That's one of the brilliant things about this kind of book, is that this is not something that's going to sit on the shelf. This is something that you're going to be highlighting, putting Post-it notes sticking out of the top of, and you're going to go back to over and over again, and you're going to be drawing ideas and actually using this stuff with kids in the classroom. That's what it's all about. And so, Alice and Heather, we are so proud to publish this book and so proud to put your work out into the world. And again, Heather, Alice has been here 1 or 2 times before, but Heather, this is your first book with us, and we could not be more proud to have you in the DBG family.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And to everyone who is joining us, thank you for spending a little bit of your Monday night with us. And by the way, if you want some more from Heather and Alice, they're going to be hosting on X, Twitter. They're going to be hosting. They're going to be hosting the TLAP chat. So hashtag TLAP at 8 Central, 6 my time, 8 Central, 9 Heather's time, and what time in Peru?
It's East Coast. So me and Heather are on the same time zone right now. So 9 for us, East Coast.
Okay. So if you're in Peru watching, 9 o'clock, but they'll be over on Twitter and hosting a chat around these ideas. And so it would be fantastic if you would hop over there and join us in a little bit. And Alice and Heather, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time of your time to celebrate with us.
Thank you so much. And thanks to everybody out there who is buying the book and supporting us. We can't do it without you.
Please connect. Let us know what you think. Share with us what you're getting out of it. Share pictures of the book arrived, all that kind of stuff. We love to see people interacting with the message, with the book. And so please tag us on social media and let us know what you think. Bye, everybody.